Yo, 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 yo. We back again. Back in the lab. Good to see y'all. We on episode 24, I believe, AJ?
Yes, sir.
24. We moving on up. Season 2 of the Grind Podcast. You know what it is. First and foremost, we are the hosts with the most. My name is T-Tank. Tyler, as y'all know.
Yeah.
For sure.
T-Tank in the building, baby.
Right.
On time.
Yep. On time this time. And my co-host.
I seen you like 30 minutes late last time. It was raining.
Yeah, it was raining. And my co-host, who is he?
It's your boy, AJ 360 King Jones, St. Jones 33, former Jonesy. Goddamn, I got so many names. Sheesh. Hey, alright, call me what you want, man. Call me what you want.
And, without further ado, we have a special guest in the building.
Oh, shoot.
You know, it's our third episode. I don't know why threes just so happens to follow you all the time.
Hey,
it's always
number,
3.
Man.
By design.
It's always
it was
3.
Written.
A good friend, a brother, man, all that, but we'll explain it. But without further ado, E.G. Vicious, Eddy G in the building.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
E.G., my brother.
What's up, man?
What's good, fam? That's my guy right here, y'all. Y'all know. Y'all should know by now. Y'all know who I rock with. We got the applause. Hey, it feels good. Hey, I'm happy we ain't gotta add those things on later, man.
Amen.
Thank God for the growth.
But yeah, for growth. Like I said, we got our brother, man, Eddy G in the building. But if we're gonna let you, introduce yourself. Tell the people about who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Who? I'm a man, I guess. At the end of the day, man of many aspects and facets. You know what I mean? Most importantly, I'm a father of 3. That good number 3,
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I'm a humble servant of the Lord, of course.
Yeah. God is good.
I mean?
All the time.
Yeah.
I was
living and learning.
Let me introduce my name, EG, man.
Yeah.
Like, for those who don't know, man, EG came from the D. For y'all who don't know what the D is, Dino Streets, down Dirty D, man. Y'all ain't even San Bernardino. Like, I met this man when I was in college. I was kind of like the outsider. Kind of like I was just like on my own, doing my own thing.
Wild boy.
Yeah, and I remember I would see E, and he would be chilling. He'd be him, Chamizi, Milan, A-Bay Banks, and I don't know. We just like we started joining the fraternity and stuff, and then I don't know. We just clicked afterwards, and then we ended up getting a spot together, and then the rest was history. This was like my first roommate, and
roommates for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time, and we just kept rocking together. And Eddie's the type of guy he loved to the bone. You know what I mean? He got a good heart. And I remember like I was telling my homegirl this. I was like, man, I knew Eddie was real when I remember we first moved into the Castle Park apartments, and I was just chilling. I was at the house, and he was out. And he hit me on the phone. He was like, "AJ, you want something to eat, bro?" I'm at like Jack in the Box or something. I'm like, "What, for real?"
Nobody ever bought you food before?
Nah, for real. Like, I'm fresh out of high school.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
This is my first apartment ever. I'm still a freshman.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's love. And from that day, I knew I could rock with Ed, like, no matter what. And he just kept that consistent, like, throughout our whole time. And we just been, going back and forth. And this is a good man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Hey,
got a lot of talents, a lot of leadership skills, and just a good dude, period, man. Yeah, so that's AG, man. Put some respect on his name, man.
When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
E Vicious, EG, and lover all above.
Let me before we get into like the stuff though, let me give you your flowers. I mean, me personally. And I remember funny because I met you in college as well. I was doing
right.
the freshman orientation, and you had the orgs all around student
Tables
union.
and stuff,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And of course, I've been knew AJ. So that was
Yeah, that's my boy.
But like he didn't know like I knew you, so like it was no correlation. So I went up to the tables in different orgs, and Sigma's was the last table that was there that I went to. It was him there, I believe, Aaron, and I want to say Tyrone. Actually, I want to say it was Tyrone that was there.
Dang, that's a good name, Tyrone. The Alpha.
And I was like,
Tyrone, go in.
I was like, and you introduced yourself. It was like, yeah, I'm Eddy G. I was like, oh, I think I heard about you. You know my boy AJ. And he was like, yeah, he's Sigma too. I was like, yeah, I know. So like, you know, it was cool, like, cause like I said, you didn't know the relationship that we had. But it was like, I was like, in my head though, I was like, I know I'm gonna be seeing him again. Like whoever he is, I know I'm gonna see him again. You know, fast forward to now. But I appreciate you, my guy, because you've always shown me just love and respect. And in college, when you're trying to find yourself, one, you're naive to the scene. You don't know who's with you or against you. I've lost a lot of friends that I thought were my friends. I've learned about people, but you definitely, my guy, have stayed solid through and through as long as I've known you. You've never been fake. I've never heard you talk behind my back or like having this like beef with me or anything, like, you know what I'm saying? You've always been straight up, a straight shooter with me, and the love and respect, and, you know, even you standing up to me when, truthfully, like during the time when I was trying to become a Sigma, when they were trying to figure out my value and who I was and what I could bring, you was one of the first with no hesitation to step up and say what I could bring. I remember that when we were at the table at where we go to, and they all wanted me to. Was
that at UCR?
No. It was at a restaurant when we first started meeting.
Was that Denny's?
No, I want to say like BJ's or something. It was somewhere.
I remember the setting and scene.
Yeah, like
I can't remember the restaurant.
Yeah, like that's when we. But I remember that, and that always has stuck by me. And that belief that you gave me made me believe like, okay, I actually can like do this. And so just so you know, like that gave me that. So I appreciate you, my guy, that you've always been that way with me. So it's an honor for you to be on the pod for sure for me.
Amen.
So
yeah, we appreciate you, Ed, for real. Like we don't take it lightly. Like even though you are a boy and stuff, like we still appreciate you helping us out and you know always showing support. Like from the beginning, that's why I was saying, like even in the beginning, like he always just been there, you know, like to hold you down. So yeah, for sure. So shout out EG, man.
Thank you.
Hey, what should it be like? EG can't give the government name like.
Oh, my name? my name is Edward.
You got too many names.
Got a lot of alias.
Hold on, man. I got something I gotta ask. I got something I gotta ask about your names. And I never knew this. What the hell does the G stand for?
The G is ambiguous. So I
started
to tell this the story on the other podcast. I started to tell it, but I didn't fully get into it. So I don't know if y'all remember the movie Hardball, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you remember the character G Baby?
Yeah.
All right. So when I was a freshman, in high school, no lie, I was like 4'9".
Yeah, I seen the pictures.
So I was a little guy, right?
All right.
So one day we had football practice and like you got girls in the stands. So we trying to go holler at them, right? So the girls, as we talking to them, me and my homies, it's probably like 4 or 5 of us. Like niggas I went to or brothers I went to middle school with in elementary with. We transitioned into high school, summertime, freshman year. So we go up to the bleachers and we started talking to them.
All right.
And the girls just keep like saying like, "You look so familiar. You look like somebody I know." Right? Whatever. So my homie like, "Yeah, you never seen him before? Like his name is G Baby from Hardball." Yeah. Like and that just happened. It just from that moment on, it just took off.
My man.
Man, I'm in my 30s now, and even if I see somebody from high school,
still
like,
G Baby,
what's up, man? But from that moment on, same girl, she still remembered the story. Like to this day, I seen her the other day. She remember the story.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't even know what I should call you. Should I call you Edward or
Eddie G.
Eddie G.
But,
then the transition to Eddie G.
Yeah. So when we got to college, it just transitioned. So the G.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't walk around college like, my name G baby. You know
We
what I
still
mean?
kind of used to, like, when our freshman year, still used to sometimes G baby.
Because, you know, I'm local, so I know we see my friends and stuff in the city. So everybody I went to school with, they know it's G baby. You know?
I'll tell y'all this. Eddie's the only thing I knew that was famous. And like, if you walk around with Eddie, you gonna know somebody gonna know him
Every time.
like
somebody know me.
He was the only thing I knew that was famous, and I still to this day say that, man, because anytime I was walking with him, like, he was like, "What's up, bro?" or "What's up, girl?" Like, wherever we was at, it doesn't matter where we was at, somebody knew who Eddie was. So that's crazy. Yeah, but let's go back to high school, man. Like, cause
I want to go back further than that.
you want to go back further than that. Like,
let's go, like, you know, take us back to before G Baby and where it came from that to there, then the college. Like, what's been your
path?
Your path.
What's my path? So originally, like, I was born in San Bernardino.
All right.
But pretty much I was raised in Colton, California.
Okay.
That's where I stay now.
So I stayed there, Rancho and Mill. I was there for a long time, mostly elementary up to like 4th grade. From that point, I went to live with my dad in Texas. So that was like the transition point pretty much. 4th grade, went to live with my dad for about a year. Came back out here in 5th grade. When I moved back out here, I moved to San Bernardino. Went to Lancashire Elementary and Curtis Middle School. And I made my way to San G.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
You moved a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Especially in your earlier years, you moved a lot.
Well, and so the reason why I went to Texas is because I was in that crossroad of either being bad or being good.
Yeah. Well, that's why I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit about that too, because I was thinking about this shit earlier. Because I know Eddie G, man. This my boy. This my bro, for real.
Right.
And you know, I see your pops now, like, and I see the path that he on, and like he a pastor, you know, for those, you know, who don't know Eddie and his family. Like, I'm real tight with his fam, and you know, he'll pop up on my live and stuff, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, Pastor Edward?" Like, and he'll be chopping it up with me sometimes. Yeah. And I know like the history, and I'm like, you know, what stopped you from going down that path versus, you know, well, I don't know if it's okay if I
I mean,
for those who don't know, like,
you know me, I'm always
he was heavy in the streets, you know what I mean?
Heavy in the streets,
like, not Eddie, but his pops. His pops is heavy in the streets, and you know, you could have easily went down that path too. Like, I got a few family members that's in that. Yeah, that's in that.
I mean, that's a part,
you know,
of it. That's how we grew up. California. You know?
And I always wondered, like, you know, why you didn't go down that, like, because I know you did other stuff, like theater and stuff, like, which I always thought was cool, you know. But what made you not go down that route? You know what I mean?
So like I was saying with the transition, so my dad, he was already gone. He lived out here. He was doing his thing out here, but you know, as he got older, more trouble and started coming his way. So he ended up moving to Texas, and I guess my mom, I don't know, she just had the intuition, you know, like, we needed that connection.
So she sent you out there.
Yeah. So she sent me out there. So I went to live with him. But then at that point, that's my transition point. And I'm like 10, 11, going to Texas, where everybody I was growing up with, they're pretty much going down the path of being gangsters and doing that thing. So when I come back, it's pretty much like I'm already me.
Yeah, you was already doing your thing.
I never looked to be like a follower. Like, I handle things by myself. I do like do what I want when I want. So I never looked at it as a benefit to be a part of it.
Yeah, because I kind of, you know, my bro and, you know, some of the other friends that I had was, you know, in that life too. Even my homeboy Lo, who passed away in, I think, 2016, rest in peace, Lo. You know, you know, you know, you just, niggas is in there, like, but I was just like type of nigga or type of brother to do what I do. Like, I was into sports, you know, And, you know, I just kicked it with the homies, Tyler. I don't know if you remember Amir.
Yeah.
It was like the three amigos in high school. Like, we kicked it with like all
by the vending machine.
Yeah, and
we had a few little
we had a tree spot, and it would be us three niggas, or he was like Arabic or something.
Something like that.
And me and Tyler was black, and we just have a bunch of Mexican girls around us all the time, like every lunch. Like that was us.
Man. That was us.
Yeah, and we just held it down, and you know, I just didn't see no benefit to doing that, so I just didn't. But I always wonder why other people didn't go, and especially Ed, because like he got family that's real like thick in it, and you know, like creators of this shit. You know what I mean? Like OG.
Yeah.
So I kind of figure like, why Eddie didn't do that? You know?
I kind of feel like it was just my bad.
You good?
I mean, so my surroundings, you know, I grew up in it, like literally grew up in the hood. Like, I know everybody from the hood, like, you know what I mean? But it was like, why, like, I'm with them every day. I'm doing everything they're doing. I just not a part of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what would be the difference? Like, we're just, I put my name on this. So like, if anything serious happens, like you guys said, my family is there.
Right.
I mean, we always gonna be family no matter what.
Right.
Yeah, that's
what
I
mean.
You don't need to be in it because you're already by blood, like
associated, basically, like grandfather then type thing. You know what I mean?
You don't need to be.
And I guess the key to that is that my pops grew up in that. Like he didn't start off like that. He was a breakdancing crew, and then it turned into
for real?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
That's the right thing. Let's serve these dudes, man.
In store, because I'm headed for a dancing war. That's the crowd.
How close are you?
Yeah, he used to break dance, he used to play football, sports, all that. You know how to draw with both hands. Like, so my dad's mind is like open. You know what I mean? But it's his environment. You know?
Right.
So my mom comes from Louisiana.
A
whole nother.
shout out to Louisiana.
Like, you know
I didn't even know that. Like my mom from Louisiana too.
Yeah, my fam from Louisiana too.
What the hell?
Shout out to
What part?
I forgot where mine
Baton
is.
Rouge.
I think it might be Baton Rouge.
My mom is from Grambling. She graduated from Grambling State University.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Them roots.
Yeah, so with that being said, my mom, you know, her moving here was Cali's just a different environment. You know? She has a kid. Like the only reason why she lived out here, like she came to visit, and my dad went back home, found out she was pregnant with me. So he like, nah, we gotta make a family grow together. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why she lived out here. Once she's like got used to it, she stayed out here. But her vision for us, you know, me and my brother, was for us to be educated, you know, see the world, you know.
That's a great segue. Because I did want to ask you about that, man. I've known you for many years, and I've pleasure of being around your mom, a great woman, I never got to ask you, like, you know, your mom's impact on your life, I can tell plays a tremendous part. If not the same as your dad, more than your dad. Like, you always, with no hesitant. Forgot. And shout out to her, because didn't she recently just have a birthday?
October 13th, 1969. Happy birthday, mama.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Love you, mama.
Sure. Much love.
Mom!
And but yeah, I always wondered, because I never knew the impact, like, and I knew when I seen like that dynamic and how close you guys were, like y'all really like tight, like I always wondered like the impact that she's had on your life personally, because you never hesitate to give her the honor, the praise, and her flowers. You do it every year with no hesitation. You know what I'm saying? I just wondered that, like, can you explain like the impact she's had on your life personally, like, as you grew? Because I'm pretty sure because of her,
I am the way I am.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's so my story with my parents in general, it'd be a tale of two halves, right?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, my mom, that's all I seen. It was me, my mom, and my brother. My mom worked every day. She worked at Factory to You. Walmart. Started working for the state, so I watched an independent woman hold it down. Feel me? So out there, to anything, she's a standard to me. You know what I mean? My bad.
You good?
But she has her education. She's well educated. You know what I mean? She's business oriented.
Yeah.
But I watched her from when we used to go, she used to go to work when we got to stay home and watch each other. You know what I mean? Me and my brother. So I've always had that appreciation for her. She was a stickler for grades. She was a stickler for not getting in trouble. She was a stickler, like, you know, as she's young growing up and I'm young, like, growing with her.
Got you.
So I feel like that's, like, one of my best friends because we grew together, you feel me?
Got
At the end of the day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know. Mom's been tough for a minute, man.
She's like, yeah, you know, she's cool. She don't play, though.
Yeah, no, you can tell.
It's
No,
like,
for sure.
it's a balance.
Yeah, no,
She
you
gotta
can
start
tell.
looking if you doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for me. You know how many times I've seen that look?
Nah, you know me.
You know what I mean?
I already
And you ain't
knew
even
that.
seen the look of disappointment.
Yeah, oh
Man,
man.
I was like, just a quick story. I went to jail one weekend and I graduated college the next weekend.
Damn.
You know that? So
Yeah.
that disappointment of, like, we're getting ready for graduation week from college and you go to jail. Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
she was so disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I graduated too. At the same
Yeah,
time.
we done been
That's like
few.
the duality of everything. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when I said that it's a tale of two tales. My pops, you know what I mean? My pops was more instrumental in me becoming like a man.
Got
You
you.
know what I mean? He teaching me the things my mother couldn't teach me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
guided me.
Yeah, I know me for sure. Like when I've been around EG, like I know that I've always can go to him and look to him for counsel.
Yeah.
And like, cause I always felt like Eddie was a leader. Like he had great leadership skills from early on. He was never like fearful or anything. Like I was a little timid sometimes, guys. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like there would be certain moments where we'd be out in the streets. And like I can feel myself like
You gotta
freezing up.
You gotta
and,
navigate them waters.
Yeah,
Man.
and Eddie would take control of the situation, and you know he would get us out of some stuff. Like it wouldn't even be like. Well,
Like,
sometimes it would, but
Yeah, we got some stories. Man.
but other times,
Sometimes it might be my fault too.
but right. But other times, he would just take charge of it, and I always knew that I can count on my bro, and I can depend on him. And we would just be out there tough, and like if he got into anything, because there's been some times where I didn't have to get crazy too, because
Sometimes too.
and it would go there, and we would ride for each other. So I was just like, I just always looked at him as a leader, and like I was always trying to figure out like where you get those leadership skills from, like because even
That's a
you,
good question.
because even you not going into the gang shit and all that street shit. Even though sometimes we would be in the streets, but where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'll say that's instrumental to my tribe. My grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, like my dad, my mother. You know what I mean? I'm the first. So I was the first born, the first grandson, the first nephew, the first everything. You feel me?
Okay.
So with my little cousins, like what I mean, my brother.
Yep.
It's essentially it's
Rich,
five.
shout out Jay Rich.
Hey, shout out Jay Rich. Shout out Rich. Shout out my boy Cheese. Shout out Timo.
Yeah, Timo.
Hey, shout out RIP to my cousin Swag.
Swagoo.
Yep. And then shout out to my
Rest in
little cousin
peace, bro.
Tehran. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But essentially, when we was growing up, it was us four. Me, Swag, Richard, Timo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was the oldest one.
Okay.
I'm the smallest one, but I'm the oldest one.
Okay.
So everything that we did, if it went bad, I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I'm the leader. So if it's good, I get praise because I'm the leader. You feel me? I'm the oldest. But even like the leadership part of it, I would break down. If we had $1, I go to the store and buy 4 liquids. And then you get one, you get one, you get one.
Gotcha.
Okay,
And just
cool.
Delegating.
That's how it been from the start to the finish. You feel me?
So you were already used to just being in that kind of.
I was the first.
that
I
was-
was the first child, the first this, the first that. So it's
See,
It didn't make you like, as you grew older and you found yourself like, I don't know what in high school if you took any leadership position. Like,
Yeah.
Because I know in college you did.
It
So it
trickled.
didn't like.
It's the rest of my life is leadership. You feel
Right.
me? Even I feel like I should have kids. Like my purpose
Right.
was to lead some people.
Got you.
I got my own set of people I lead. You feel me?
Right.
So it's like every aspect of my life has always been. I've never been a follower. Always
been leading.
You know what I mean?
Leader.
I might like be a part of the crowd, but at some point I'm gonna stand out. At some point I'm not gonna do this.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that. You know.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's where it starts.
I feel like that's important for each man to have leadership skills because I noticed early, like, you know, they say they have this saying, sometimes you got to know how to follow in order to lead.
Yeah.
That's what I.
And I've always pick and choose like who I was willing to follow. Some niggas I was not. Nah, I ain't with you, bro. Like I didn't think they were good decision makers, and you know, but I felt like EG was somebody honorable and respectable that I can like, you know, take after. You know what I mean? Like and just and just be comfortable, like and like just you know just being with him. You know what I mean? So it's interesting.
And I was just gonna say I never felt like I appointing myself to be the leader. It's just like naturally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Naturally niggas just kind of.
We gotta make a decision.
Yeah.
Like we go this way.
Right.
You know
But I feel like that's important to point out because I feel like as men, we do have to develop leadership skills. Even if you're not a natural born leader, you still have to lead your family. Everybody eventually will have their own family.
Right.
So, you know, you have to be able to show those display of skills. And, you know, I feel like I kind of learned from some of the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always, what I've learned about leadership, especially, like I said, my college years was like a platform for everything I was going to learn on how to be a man. Shout out to Leadership Academy. It was a little thing.
In high school, what?
No. It was actually somebody that used to work at there.
Somebody
that I'm not gonna name because we didn't name him before. I'm not gonna name it now. But shout out to him.
I'll tell you after all this. Here we go.
I got you. I'm here.
He put on this leadership academy. Took some of his freshmen. It was like a leadership academy, and through there, like I was studying and watching.
That's a good point.
I think
why you can't follow everybody.
No,
At all.
Ironically about that, right? But anyways, what I kind of learned that kind of stuck out to me about being a leader, at least a quality, is don't ask nothing of people that follow you. Nothing you won't do yourself.
You know, you know how real that is. Like,
yeah, I'm telling you, that's
like,
what I learned.
A lot of my disappointments with people, you know what I mean, is because I feel that they should have the same heart as me. So I have to learn that they like it. Not
at all. Right.
That's something I've been like really like
and that's when you learn about the qualities and different type. There are different types, I feel like, of being a leader.
Right.
Like some leaders are very quiet and they just actually just look at like some are very vocal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just two examples, but there are different types. And I'm still, I think, with my own leadership, one, just trying to be an example or being the person that I want to see out of everyone else.
Yeah. I would say that's the first one, you know what I mean? Like the first step of being a leader is like your own actions.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, you got to look in the mirror and see if you can exemplify, like, and sometimes even when you're in a position that you're looking for a leader, let's just say you're there looking for this mentorship or something like that, sometimes I think personally where God will lead you is like saying, hey, nobody is coming. I'm preparing you to be that.
There's nobody gonna save you.
Nobody.
That's deep.
I think circumstances teach you, like, hey, oh snaps, like I gotta be this person. Like a person, like for instance, personally going back, I didn't have my dad in my life. And I remember, like, when we were going back, talking about, you know, being, like, gang affiliated, being down the street doing stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I could have been that as very much as well. But, like,
imagine Tyler again.
Where Tyler was at, though, he was in the thick of it.
I can be, see, the thing is about people don't get, like, I can be many things. The thing that I am is literally a choice. Mm-hmm. You understand? This came from, like, a 7, maybe 8-year-old kid who didn't know nothing about life. Right. And finally came to terms with his father not going to be around. And I stopped and I looked around, said, okay, I have a mama here, I have a little sister here. I'm raised by my grandmother. I have cousins doing all this. And I'm hearing about what, even at an early age, what they say about the stigma of black men or what they grow up to be. Yeah. And I literally chose and said, no, I'm going to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything about me is a choice. And people don't get that when they see me. They think, like, because I am, this is no. I can be whatever you think I couldn't be. You just trust me and believe when I say I could be it very easily. Yeah. What you see is a choice. Right. Because I didn't want to be a stigma or some stereotype or place me in a box. And I just believed in myself I could be better. Right. Leadership-wise, speaking of that. So it's like, that quality of, like, I recognize the circumstances of where I was. And it was just teaching me, like, no one's coming to save. My dad isn't coming to save me. He's not coming to teach me X, Y, and Z. Yeah, so guess who got to do it? Yeah, I got to learn to do it myself.
I think a lot of us had to, you know, become greater out of necessity, like, because we didn't have those people to fill those
against roles. The wall, like, back into a corner, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, we had to figure it out. We had to fight our way out. And it's still kind of like that in a sense because of the generations before us that kind of, you know, I wouldn't say, I can say drop the ball, but it's like they still had stuff they were dealing with too.
They didn't drop the ball, but they didn't set the tone.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
You have to figure it out.
Yeah, so, you know, we really have to, like, step up. And, like, I think us men nowadays are really stepping up to the plate and, you know, trying to lead. Right. And, you know, it's tough because of the situation from the economics to the political system that we're in. It's so many stuff that's working against us. It's like you really got to be on point with your game just to even break even. You know what I mean? You got to, and to even push past and flourish, you got to be like freaking Superman.
Facts.
And it's like, we're still human. At the end of the day, we all still make mistakes. Right. Man,
you have less of a window to make mistakes.
And like the margin for error is like slim.
Facts.
And it's like, dang.
Yeah, facts.
And I think for us as men, it's hard. So that's why I've always been one to give grace and try to give myself grace. I cannot say it enough because, you know, we're not perfect. And you know, we just gotta keep getting better. Yeah. But you know,
and shout out to it, man. We doing it. Shout out to God's grace. We here and we're still making moves. We still learning more about ourselves. As we grow in our 30s now, like and shout out to us.
That's a part of the grind, though.
Yeah, sir.
That's part of the grind.
It's the grind show.
Eddie. That's what. Fast forward. Now you out of college. You know what I'm saying? You graduate, you out of college, you get a job, work for the state. What is it?
I kind of want to we ain't even talking about his college days, man. College days, boy. What?
I just be chilling, man.
AJ. Y'all ain't even know, man. I'll give y'all a quick story. This is the first one. I was just talking to the whole group about this. All right, look. All right, so we get our first apartment, right?
This is about to be
the first apartment got like 1,000 stories.
I know. But this is like the first week of us getting this apartment. And this thing Eddie's like, we got to throw a housewarming or a party. And so we was like, all right. So we just got the apartment. It's fresh and stuff. We got to get a shoe rack. We got to get a shoe rack. So we get this shoe rack. It got like 2 layers. And we like, okay, so when everybody come in, they got to put their shoes in here.
Like no shoes on the carpet.
And
no shoes on the carpet.
so
man.
we started hitting the text. We start shooting people we know. Tell me why, like the whole Cal State San Bernardino show up, bro.
2-bedroom.
Like, 2-bedroom apartment. It was a 2-bedroom, 2 baths.
2 bedrooms.
Yeah, and we was holding it down, man. It was only like $1,000, man. Shout out Castle Park at the time.
Those are the days.
And I remember it was one car, and then next thing you know, you just seen car after car behind it coming at one after another, and they were like in groups.
The parking lot of
yeah, and the house went up, and afterwards, I think it was during the party, I seen like the shoe rack. It was shoes everywhere, shoes on thing.
The shoe rack was like
and dented, and it was broken afterwards, and that party went up. That's like set the tone for like
for the rest
of the college experience. After that, it was a wrap. Like
that was a next party. Like we didn't. Like I feel like we just started school. That was like the first week of school, huh?
Yeah, it was like the first week of school, and that shit went up. And after that,
we're talking about like 100 people in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Like something crazy. I was surprised the police didn't come or nothing.
Well, that's when it was like I don't know. It wasn't that much stuff popping on the north end like that, and it was just like
it started the way.
Yeah, and we had just crossed and everything.
I don't even think did we cross. Oh,
no,
we did cross.
I think it was about around the same time. And yeah, man, it was just like up from there, and we did programs after that. We did a lot of social events. The Jump Off Classic. Shout out to Tokes, Charles, Gary, Antonio was just on. Shout out to Antonio.
That's the TNG. Shout out to my club, Antonio. The Next Generation, though, man. Sir. I'll say I'm gonna give them their flowers. You know, what I mean? Each individual taught me something different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Charles taught me business. Yeah. Tokes taught me leadership. Yep. Now Gary taught me like empathy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Feeling for others, like understanding where others are coming from, you know. Yeah, and then
we had some good people to learn from. That's what I did like about college, and I think college get a bad rap.
But y'all, in respect to y'all, like y'all did y'all like way different in my opinion, because y'all were like still young, trying to figure stuff out, and then y'all hop right into a fraternity. Yeah, like I can't imagine. Like, how was that? Like, I'm trying to. Talk about that for y'all. Like, how, like, did y'all feel like y'all got everything that y'all was supposed to get out of college, or was some of it like taken away because y'all had a fun responsibility, all that came with a frat, and you had to devote that basically damn near all your college life, like you never got to be just.
Nah, we went to school first quarter. Yeah, second quarter we. We had to do.
We had to do. Yeah.
By the third quarter, we was Sigmas.
Yeah.
So how was that for y'all? Like, did y'all? I mean, y'all ever wish like y'all would just regular for a time and then or y'all would just
I didn't even know what it was like to be
right. I didn't. I feel like for me, basically, we already knew Antonio. Antonio was Aaron's older brother.
Gotcha.
Aaron Banks is my line brother.
Gotcha.
One of my best friends. We went to high school together.
Shout out Banks, man.
Shout out A.B. Banks.
Like,
but yeah, so me and Aaron, we went to high school together, right? We used to have a crew called Dipset.
Hey, Dipset.
So we was introduced to it early, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So we would go to the parties, like seniors in high school. We would go to the college parties and stuff like that, and link up with them. So I think it was already a foregone conclusion in both of me and Aaron's head that we're going to be, we're going to join a fraternity. Yeah. Not necessarily saying we spoke about like joining Sigma, but along that path, we just said we were going to join like something.
Gotcha.
Our freshman year, I don't know. It was just like we was the ones, like, you know what I mean. Like from the first week of school, we was the ones, and so.
The college environment is different, bro. It's like a little community. Yeah. Like niggas just walking around. They go to class. You got girls in different dormitories. You know, Joshua, Mojave, Shandy. Everybody was in there. You got people from
go to the Mojo.
You got people from off campus. Troy and all people. Well, I forgot the other dude's name.
Charles.
Yeah, they would come onto campus and like just be chilling. Like. Campus was dope. Yeah, like campus was dope. It was a different environment. And
so y'all was just ready. Like y'all was just like no fear, no hesitation. Like, you know, we freshmen, but we just gonna take this
It was I don't well. From my perspective, that's
go ahead. Yeah,
I'm
just, mine was a little different because he was already in. I was like, okay, on the outside.
Okay, I'm just curious because I'm like,
when we got there, essentially me, Milan, Chamizi, and Aaron. That was our crew.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went, every party, school, class, the student union, whatever the case may be.
Of course.
In addition to that, we had all the orgs on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody would congregate in the union. Like you can go to the union at any time, or 10 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Somebody's in there,
and it's up. Or midday, everybody's in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we were in that not really like a solidified HBCU type thing, but
that, it was
close as we could get to.
It was strong. That black culture was strong.
Yeah, so Omegas, Kappas,
everybody,
Alphas, SG Row, Alphas, Sigma,
Zetas.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't have was Iotas at the time.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Iotas is like usually the main ones now, but
they're not actually.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, like
it's the perception.
But
anyway,
hey, they know. Hey,
low.
USB.
Yeah, but at the time it was like that. Like Aaron was saying too, that was like the community, and you know how I got into it was my freshman year, like. Niggas didn't even know me like that. Like they was like, "This nigga weird. This nigga doing what's funny shit." Because I was
we should just see
like my mind was
random
stuff. My mind was out there. Like always been different. So
we see
that's facts.
Just in the middle of the dorm doing random stuff.
I remember I went to jail because I was turned up and never mind. But
we're talking about the rock.
Yeah,
he was throwing rock. He in the middle of the door, like how so the courtyard of the door is set up like a circle.
Okay.
He bouncing rocks off the ground, and it jumped and hit the glass window.
No. I remember that because I was playing football my senior year, not college, high school, and I still kind of had that in me, and so I was like going to the side of the windows, and I was like a shoulder thrust, and I accidentally boom.
Oh, that's what it was. I always thought it was a rock.
And next thing you know, I broke the window. And I remember the homegirl, I forgot her name. She's a dark skinned girl.
Black and Mild.
Yeah.
Shout out to Black and Mild.
She opened the window like, what the hell?
Shout out to Black and Mild, man.
That's
a long time ago. That felt like ages ago.
Yeah, for real. And I was just different. And I remember my roommate Renee. He was part of Sigma Nu. He wasn't my roommate. He was my dorm mate.
Renee too.
Yeah, he was next door, and James was on one side.
Gotcha.
And, Ray.
You were starting to get into Sigma Nu.
So no, that's when I was getting introduced to like Greek life.
Oh, period. Okay.
Yeah,
in general.
And so he was joining Sigma Nu, and I remember he would invite me out to Sevilla's, and they would go. We was in the car. They would be like popping. Not him, but some of his. They be popping.
Yeah.
Doing college stuff.
Yeah, doing college stuff. And I was like, I never was into that kind of stuff. So I was like, I ain't really fucking with it like that. But I remember one time we went to this AD Pi sorority party, and it was like a Halloween party, and like we all stood a night over there. And we was in there and having fun. The white girls is on us, and it was kind of cool. And I remember that's the first time I ever seen a girl do a keg stand. Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
So if it ain't snowing, I ain't going.
And then, but there was one day I was in a union, and I came outside, and I seen Gary. I didn't know Gary at the time. He had on this Sigma jersey. Yeah, he had on his Sigma jacket on. I was like, dang, that shit hard as heck. And I didn't know what it was. And then I ended up meeting Tokes. And Tokes was like, hey, you want to come play football? And I was like, all right.
Dang, that was a long time ago.
I was like, all right. And then he told me to meet him out in the little park thing, or where's that little field over there by the track?
Yeah, over there by the
And these niggas thought they can run me over and shit because I was like kind of smaller. Mm-hmm. And Tokes was big at the time.
Oh, yeah.
That was big Tokes. He's still Dean Too Fresh. And I was tackling those niggas. They didn't know I ain't no punk. Like I don't tackle your ass. Right. And I kind of gained my respect from that shit. I remember Dre Shot was out there. And it was
just like it was just like a community with like I don't know. That our freshman year probably was like the best year, like for Greek life period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody like that had already been there. They're pretty much graduating and getting ready to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So they recruiting. We the freshmen.
Yeah, yup.
And it was not just us, but it was like every org.
Yeah. So it was just a good community, good environment to be in, and like the dudes that we were around were like actually good people.
Gotcha.
And so we learned a lot, and I know I for sure learned a lot, and that's when I met Eddie, and then like the rest was history after that.
Gotcha.
So
one of the best buds right there.
Yeah, Greek life was awesome.
Debatable.
It was awesome. I had a good time, man. I had so much fun. Oh my gosh, that's why I be telling people like. From high school, like all my niggas that was in high school, like all the girls is up here.
Yeah, I remember. Like I said, like my guy, I remember we had those talks before you joined. Like we had those talks. And you was telling me.
Yeah,
like,
I remember.
We had them talks.
Yeah.
Then you
I got on. I
disappeared.
Yeah, I disappeared for a while.
It happened
like,
so fast.
And then like I'm on Facebook and I see AJ with a 12 jacket on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I said, "What Blue and White Weekend?" I said, "Why was I invited?"
Yeah.
We got to bring that back. That's another story for another
Blue
day.
and White Weekend, jump off. We got a couple events that we got to bring back for sure.
But okay, I can see that though. I can see y'all like why. Based on the environment, like I probably would have hopped on.
Yeah,
the freshman. If I seen in that capacity, like I think, like when I came in, we got like the last of the goodness of it to soak up enough.
Mm-hmm. You guys got the chance to understand what it was. You know what I mean? But we were like in it.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
That's the difference. And like I said, we had every work on campus, so. Essentially, like the Sigmas never, like I don't never remember having a conversation with a Sigma like, do you want to join Sigma?
I was just explaining that to Antonio last part. Yeah,
I don't never remember that conversation. I just knew we was cool with them. They'd be like, y'all go to this, y'all doing this, y'all come play basketball at the rec.
Yeah,
it was never a conversation.
It was never that. That's crazy, man.
At the same time, I used to sit back and observe, and I just like, I can't get with that. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Like it was just like I'm naturally, and then you already know I'm naturally attracted to the blue.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yo.
This is my color right here. These are my people. They cool. They never said nothing like.
Yeah, rule number one about Fight Club. You don't talk about
Fight Club. Exactly. It's just there. It just happens.
But I didn't want to skip over that because I feel like that's a big part of our journey.
I mean, that's one of the core parts about the transition because I'm the first, the oldest. So I either had people older than me or younger than me. Mm-hmm. Nobody who can relate to me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I have friends in high school, but once we graduated,
it was kind of distant.
Everybody doing their own.
I'm just now reconnecting with some of my high school guys, man.
Exactly. And it's people like in high school, you see them every day. You know what I mean? But as you get older, as you grow, as everything happens, like the transition is different. Gotcha. So, like I said, the next generation TNG for our chapter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely
bridged that gap.
So
they were our big brothers in a sense, and at the perfect timing when we needed big brothers. You know?
Amen for them, man. Amen for that. That was God, man. Damn, that's crazy.
So out of college, like I said, you get a new job. You ain't working in a warehouse now and all that. Like
but the warehouse aspect is essential too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not many people know this, right? So my freshman year of school, like I said, the transition, we graduated high school, we go to a quarter of college. Mm-hmm. The next quarter, we're Sigmas.
Right.
Like, you know, I mean, we're going through the process. By the third quarter, we Sigmas. Like, we official. We in.
Right.
That's when I feel like, personally, that's when all the guidance and not knowing what to do, how to do it, how to handle stuff was up in the air.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So during my freshman year, I promise you, I never used to go to class. Like I used to be, I used to be in the student union, or I'll be at home, or I had somebody give me notes, and we just go from there, right? So I'm saying that to say this, like I had to take myself out of Cal State San Bernardino. I went to Valley College.
Yep, I remember.
And I used to be, me and him had an apartment. He'd go to Cal State San Bernardino classes. I go to Valley classes. Nobody pretty much knew that for a long time, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I unenrolled myself because I was at the point of where they were going to kick me out because of my GPA. I wasn't going to class doing whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I went to San Bernardino. as I'm going to Valley College, I got a job in a medical warehouse. So you're getting experience as 18, 19-year-old, but you're working with grown men. They set in their ways. I want to be a warehouse worker for the rest of my life.
Some of them still there.
Still there, right now. And we're in our 30s, you feel me?
Right.
So it's their career.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's that transition at that point where you got to make a decision. Either you're going to get everything corrected or you're going to go down this path. So long story short, I had a couple conversations with dudes. They were just like, you guys are young. Like, you're doing this and that. You need to make sure you get back in school. You need to make sure you finish. And this is people in the real world. It's not in our own little Cal State community.
Good. This is
you know what I mean? It's
life,
people like
real life for
grown men.
Yeah.
So long story short, after that my sophomore year technically would be, I worked my way, got my classes done, got everything I needed in order to be in good standing with Cal State San Bernardino.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
So I went back to Cal State San Bernardino, and then it's just like I came back with a whole different mentality.
And because of that
I'm about my business.
Because of them, that guidance of that, being in that environment, seeing them, their career set, and telling you from their point of view what
their life experiences. You know what I mean? They got life experience. I'm 18, 19, they 30, 40, 60, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a different perspective, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thank God for that because I needed that perspective. I was just taking advantage of my opportunity. You feel me?
I think a lot of us take advantage of our opportunities because I see so many people just, throw it away. Like we was talking about it last episode with Antonio, is how people, the first year they would be in, and then next thing you know, the next year they were gone.
Yeah. But it's literally like that. I watched that happen.
I watched people drop for sure.
I'm pretty sure we seen everybody. Like, you know what I mean? We
seen people fall off.
And I'm grateful to have watched Ed go through that because it happened to me because I kind of fell off my purpose. And I kind of got distracted about a lot of stuff because we was out there, man. We were having the time of our lives.
I'm still outside.
Yeah.
Outside boys.
And what's them call it? Like I had got kicked out, and I would have to go to Valley. And the reason I knew I could do it is because I'd seen Ed go to Valley and get his stuff together and come back. And I literally had to go to Valley.
I remember we freshmen and we had our apartment together, so. When we wake up in the morning, we get dressed and we just got to go our separate ways. And then we come back. Got work.
Work in the morning. We be out till 4 a.m. We literally be out till 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Work at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and we be like, get that, you got that 5-hour energy.
That's when we first came out, the 5-hour energy drinks. But we hold each other accountable.
And we like, bro, he'll be sleep on one couch, I'll be sleep on another couch, and we'd be out and
get up and
and we'll go to work and come back and do it again the next night or after that.
But that's just all those. Like, I thank God for every experience I had thus far in life. You know what I mean? I'm living and I'm learning. Yeah, I don't think people realize how much life experience we've had in the 33, 34 years that we've been here. Like, we've actually been on our own, and a lot of people haven't been on their own yet. They've still been at home with their moms and their dads, and that's fine. But, at the same time, like, we got where you have to depend on yourself and you have to depend on whoever was with you. So, like, it's tough when you got your back against the wall, So, but that's what makes you a stronger.
Yeah, it makes you stronger.
Find out who you
figure it out.
Yeah, so
back against the wall, you figure it out. And I don't know if y'all got the same perspective, but I think that going through our process,
definitely helped.
That helps,
definitely.
But like at every turn, even now, it still helps me at every turn. Like
there's certain stuff I ain't gonna go into because they ain't even against the world.
Too much for TV.
Yeah. I can tell you, like for instance, one, let me piggyback off the back against the wall thing. Like, I feel like everyone gets to a point in time in their life to where they have this want to be better or want things for their life. And when you really want it, you're going to do what you have to do basically to get it. What I say that to say is, like, I remember a process 3 years ago, maybe during COVID, and I realized that I had to be on my own. Life after college, like I was with moms, and I was with my sister, frustrated about life, and I had the plan, and the plan failed. and I had this plan, and well, basically God sped it up with circumstances that were happening, and I had a choice of like I can just continue to be with them, or I can just try to like put my feet under fire, back against the wall, see what I'm made of.
Right.
Yeah.
But them techniques that I learned from college,
applied
from fraternity things, the confidence that I grew in myself, the things that I learned there in my own, made me have the confidence to be like, okay, like what have you learned out of life?
Yeah.
What have you, even though you've been away before, you know what that looks like to be without them. To get out of that family environment bubble, you know what it looks like. So let's push that a little bit further. I think that's honestly, for me personally, I think that's what God was doing for me. Because if I would have stayed, I would have been comfortable. And I would have took longer, and I would have stayed in this comfortable. And being in a fraternity, it gets to a point where you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's getting to a point where you're by yourself, and it's going to see who you're made of. Because at some points, and I remember y'all telling me this, and I remember at some points, you're going to know what you're there for, because all the focus is going to be nothing but you. It's only you. And I remembered that. And taking that in, it was like, okay, well, Tyler, look, this is only you. Ain't nobody from college around, your family there, but they trying to do their own thing. You are at a crossroads in your life. You about to be in your 30s. What are you going to do about this circumstance? I think a lot of people... And I put my foot to that fire because of what I learned through all that, and put my back against the wall. So if I fail now, it's all on me now. Which means I can't fail. That's why, because it's all on me. If I fail, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go if I fail. So I cannot fail. I have to make. And you got to make it work. Make it work. And I have been blessed and highly favored to always, even down. Blessed and highly favored. Even down. I'm still afloating. I'm still getting blessed.
I want to tell you that I'm giving you your flowers at this point. You feel me? I remember. So Tyler, who he was at 18, 19, 21, is not Tyler who he is in his 30s. No. I'm proud of the growth we've shown. You feel me? Even in the last couple of years, man. And it's nothing negative. It's just like, you're more confident. You enunciate. You're present. You're here. You're like, you're not timid about what your purpose is. You know where you're going and what you're doing. So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, Tyler's came a long way, man. I think we all have.
Yeah, but I've learned from y'all. I learned it from
that's what.
Seeing
Each one teach one. We've all been watching each other grow, and
that's the difference.
Taking some of the good and the bad.
That's the community of it. We learn from each other. We piggyback off each other. Oh, Ed had to go through that. Tyler went through that. Right. I'm going through this right now, but I'm going through this, but I got 10 different people I can.
And it's because it's relatable. We not, like you say, you not, it's a crossroad between people older or people younger than you. It's the same, all the same. So it makes that
ages,
relatable.
Same experiences, different different experiences, but the same.
Even our OGs still right there.
Right there, facts.
Our OGs be 2-3 years.
Yeah, exactly. So
high school, freshman, senior difference.
That's why I be like, man, y'all, I wish more people would have went to college, but I understand, maybe it's not for them, or maybe nobody even told them about it, because I kind of fell upon it, just kind of random, just didn't want to be in class.
I literally only applied to one college. You know that?
Yeah, I applied to maybe 4 or 5.
I only applied to Cal
4 or 5 I applied to, for sure.
I thought I was going to go to the military.
Yeah, that was my other option.
Wow.
I'm nah.
That would never have thought.
Yeah. Nah. I was.
But I feel like.
But I'm a man trying to figure out. A young man trying to figure out how to be a man.
Yeah. Right. That's why I think community is just so important, dude. Whatever it's college, military, whatever it is, get around people that you can learn from. Wherever
like-minded people.
Yeah. And even if they challenge you, that's good.
No, if you the smartest one in your group, you in the wrong group. If you the most encouraged one, gracious, if you you can be a leader, it's okay to be a leader.
Yeah,
the iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm happy about that, man. I'm just happy that we here now.
Shout out to it, man.
But anyways, let's keep it going.
Keep it going. Continue on. Life after college, and I've seen you in college, so I've seen you with.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But
I'm
you,
Steve-O.
but all of a sudden, what I'm saying? You look like you happily in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And you happy. You know what I'm saying? You're in a relationship, and then you engage.
I think I'm in love with you, girl.
You engage, my guy. Like, I remember, like, I seen the video. I was like, "Is Eddie?
Was you there?
Proposing? No, I wasn't. I seen the video. Like, I was like, is Eddie? No, I wasn't. It was like, Eddie proposing? I was like, oh shit! Like, this is like, he for real. Like, I ain't never seen this.
I figure it out, man.
Man, walk me through that, man. How does that? What's the at least at that time like?
So you talking about after college, between what? Or college and my first child, college and getting engaged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
we had some experience. Yeah. So I would say, dang.
What did I feel like you being that? I mean, did you feel in love like with that at that time it was right? It was like this was like.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I'm putting your feet under the fire.
I'll try to make sure I answer this correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't no wrong answers. It's just how you feel about it. Yeah.
So essentially, genuinely, right? Me and her, my baby's mother, or the mother of my children.
Man.
all one person. But essentially, we didn't get a chance or opportunity to get to know each other. Let's just say that. We'll put that there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's the foundation of everything. You feel me? That's one of the most important keys to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, I think we came to with each other for the purpose that we serve for each other.
That's right.
And that was to make our kids and be able to have someone you can raise your kid with. You know what I mean?
Right.
But during the time in the beginning, you know what I mean? Everything was fast. It was just moving all fast. Like, I met her. A couple months later, she told me she was pregnant. Phone call was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I want to have the baby with or without you." However, in my time of that, I was probably like 24, turning 25. Pretty much already graduated. Yeah. I was a manager. I'm out working at Amazon in charge of like 2,000 people on one shift. Like,
I remember.
Like, I worked my way up. In Amazon, I worked my way up to a point where my boss is like, you know that you're only 25 and you're like the youngest person doing this, right? So you need to be conscious of what you're doing as you're doing it. But I'm still a young man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always been my battle. Like, I'm in a leadership position, but I'm still a young man.
That's your whole.
So I'm living and learning.
Trial and error.
You know what I mean? So, So with that, it's yes, I have love for her. You know what I mean? I can truly tell you, like, we was in love. We was just in our time. We both came together at this time. She let me know that she was gonna have my first child.
Man, I remember that.
And it was a girl. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. So I couldn't see, like, you know what I mean. So automatically in my head it clicks like, nah, this is like you've already graduated. You got a good job. Like this is your path. This is your emotion of where you're going.
Do we feel like it's supposed to be that way? Like it's like, we're conditioned. We're conditioned to be that. Like it's like, we're supposed to, graduate from college, have a great job, get a wife, have a kid. Like it's supposed to be this cookie order of life. You know what I'm saying?
The underlying thing is, for our generation, a lot of us who grew up without our fathers in the home.
Yeah.
So I didn't technically grow up without my father, but he's not there on a daily basis.
Right.
Gotcha. So we didn't have our fathers in the home. So when it's your time to have a kid, you want to do better than what your dad did.
Facts.
At the end of the day.
Facts.
Every decision I made from there point on is I'm always thinking I got my daughter to raise. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it goes from one daughter to two daughters. You know what I mean? So it's like, at that point, it's like I'm still a young man, still of this world. I'm in the world.
Like in there.
You know what I mean? So I'm transitioning. I feel like I'm doing good. I'm all right. So this is the next step of the process. You know what I mean? So essentially, So I asked her to marry me. We get engaged. And
how is that? Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Like, how is that? I'm asking questions I don't know.
I can remember that shout out to Kenny J and Cash.
Shout out to Kenny J.
To y'all. You know what I mean? I remember we went on a trip. We went to Palm Springs, so it was me, my baby mother, and Kenny J and Cash. You feel me?
Yeah.
So we go out there. We were having a good time. We were at the hotel, gambling, casino. We do this thing. We would go to the mall. And as we were at the mall, we were looking at stuff like jewelry. We're looking at rings. She tries on a ring,
and that shit fit,
and it looked. She was going like this, like that. Like Kenny, he said Kenny on some eventually one day.
Yeah,
and I'm like just impulsive, like
in my
head, I keep it noted. So I get her the exact same ring she tried on.
Nice.
You feel me? So in that moment, it's a lot of it is like I'm ready for the next chapter of my life. That's how I look at my life in chapters. Book like I could write a book, a movie,
right.
And it's gonna be in chapters. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Every 4 or 5 years, something changes.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So at that point, at that time, I want to be better than what I was.
Yeah,
I'm turning into a man. I got 2 kids at that point, Casey and Corey.
Yeah.
So the next step is to see what this is really about.
Yeah. Make it official, make it whole.
Yeah. So get out the streets and actually become a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that process because in that process I became a man.
Yeah.
And that's one big thing I feel like, because I was about to ask you, what did you learn from the whole experience?
So
it's tough, man.
So the biggest thing I learned is that you have to look out for yourself. Mm-hmm. As selfless as I am, our whole conversation is about leadership, how I care. As selfless as I am, my mom told me, and she told me this a long time ago. Nice guys finish last. Yeah. Like if you're putting all this effort into saving everyone else, you can't save yourself. You got to be solid with your foundation before you can help the next person. You know what I mean? You got to have it to be able to give it.
Yep.
So that's energy, time, that's money, that's everything in life. You got to have it to be able to give it.
Yeah, but why does that? I really hate it. Has to be that nice guy finished last. I think
but that's
because
society.
It's like okay, it's like so. What are we trying to say here? Like you cannot be a nice guy.
No, you can be a nice guy.
I've always had a quarrel with that because it's like, can you just be who you are, and maybe it's not like the problem of the nice guy, but the problem of where the other person is at. And if you have like the person that's where you're at, then it's like the nice guy can flourish. It's like it puts too much onus on you on whatever happens.
So there's instances and cases where the nice guy does flourish. That's just not as common.
I think I can speak on this because I'm a very nice person.
All right.
I'm a very nice person. I treat people with kindness. Kindness is free.
It is facts.
Sometimes you can put yourself out there a little bit too much. And I think that's where Eddie's talking about, like, how nice guys might be finishing last. Like, you can't put yourself out there so much to where, hey, pull me up a little something.
Shot o'clock.
You can't put yourself out there so much to where you're detrimental to yourself. Like, if you ain't got no money and stuff, you can't be giving away all your money.
Right.
Or if you are not at a space of mental health or stability, then you can't be trying to hold everybody together. And especially because a lot of people are cakers. They're not always the selfless like an Eddie or a Tyler or me. They're not always selfless. So they're going to take advantage of your kindness, your grace. And sometimes
that's what it is.
Yeah. So sometimes you can't be as graceful as you want to be because, people with big hearts will give the shirt off our back. I've had brothers who gave me the shirt off the back just so I can go to work.
In a heartbeat.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, sometimes you have to have those boundaries. And I think people lose sight of that.
That's the hard part.
And you got to be able to say no. And sometimes it ain't the easiest to say no, especially when your brother or your sister or your mom or your auntie or your cousin or your best friend for fire. But it literally has to be you first. And then everybody, once you're good, then everybody, I can help you out with that, bro.
Right.
I get, like, the reason why I'm able to give so much freely and like love and all that is because my source is I'm in tune with God. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because I know my source is coming from God. God love me. I don't need no confirmation from Eddie or Tyler or anybody else. I know if God told me I'm doing the right thing, I'm good. Yeah. And it took me so long to get there because I was like, dang, why ain't nobody fucking with me like that?
It's being naive.
Yeah, exactly.
You're naive because you expect it because you grew up and you have a heart a certain way that everybody will have that.
Exactly.
But you gotta remember the communities that we come from, the places that we be in our environments, and everybody's like surviving. Everybody's fighting for what they can get for themselves.
And when you're in survival mode, we talked about this last pod. Like it's exactly. So you kind of got to understand that, and I think what people go wrong is they'd be expecting something of others, but it's like everybody's not you,
like exactly.
And you got to understand people's situation. So once you get into that point where you can take yourself out of it, don't go from your point of view, go from their point of view. Like look at the situation they're in, and you can see usually why they're they are the way they are. You got to have that. Like Gary taught empathy, you know what I mean? Yeah, and a lot of people don't have empathy. And that's one of the things that I learned from my mom, because I grew up with my mom. She taught me empathy and love for others. My grandmother from Honduras had so much empathy for people. Oh my God, she was loved by everybody because she would just show people love. And that's who I strive to be like my grandma, you know what I mean? And once I figured out my source,
what Future say? I'll show you grace because of my grandmother. What did he say? I forget the
line. But that's where I get it from. And once I figured out my source, it was nothing for me to share this and you need some help, bro? Oh, I got you. Like ain't nothing. Like it because I already got enough. I got abundance of it. Like it's unconditional,
natural.
Yep. So now I'm able to be myself and have that big heart without feeling like I'm not getting it in return. A lot of people, they need it in return in order to give it. Go ahead. Take it.
But see, that's the
thing. As long as I'm good, I'm good. My family can't.
I think we had this conversation before, AJ. We did actually. Remember I told you, like cup analogy, pouring into each other. If you do that, you don't got to worry about your cup ever being empty.
Yep.
You don't got to worry about I got to get my stuff straight. I got to get my cup filled before I can. No, because if you have people in your life that genuinely like love and care about you and they have that kind of heart, you gonna look, your cup gonna be overflowed.
Yeah, always. Yep.
Just like theirs are. And I think not to take away, I get the sentiments of being selfish because I use that a lot in my family. But I think if people learn to be more in service of people, then you wouldn't have to worry about the whole selfish principle so much. Like if we just, hey, I'm gonna give to you. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I got, but I love and care about you. If you come to me, I'm gonna figure out if I have it, I have it. I'm gonna don't worry about paying me back. Don't worry about I owe so and so or hey, I got your back.
Exactly.
Here it is.
That's it.
And if it's reciprocated in that same levels, that same energy,
that's why.
I was about to say, but the whole point is, so when you're a giver, a nice guy, a person, right? So you give with nothing expected in return.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
You know what I mean? So I got a prime example of this. I was with, we talked about Troy earlier, right?
Right.
So me and him, we was at the store. And this bum, like when we were leaving the store, or homeless person, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But when we left the store, right, the guy asked us, like, hey, you guys got any change? And I gave him a few dollars, whatever was in my pocket. We get in the car. Troy, like, why'd you give him money? You don't know what he's going to do with it. Like, why, like, what if he go and buy drugs or do this and that? I'm like, bro, if I got it, I'm going to give it. Right? Because I'm not expecting for him to be able to give it back to me.
Right.
But somebody paid for it.
Yeah.
Somebody, if I'm ever in that situation, God knows my heart, I gave to him, so the next person will give to me. So anytime I have it, I'm going to give. But being such a giver that's a line, like a tightrope.
Yeah, it's a balance. Yeah. And I think you have to have boundaries. Like if you really can't do it, then it's all good. Your heart was still in the right
place. I know where your heart is.
Yeah.
When you go to church and you pay your tithes, if you don't got it, you still tap
But
you know what I mean? God knows your heart is, your intentions, what you got going on.
At the same time, and at the same time, you can't be around people really who don't have that kind of mindset, who have that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Because that can be dangerous, because they're always going to expect you to give it to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's where it gets dangerous, because people become entitled. Like, you have to do that for them. I don't have to do anything for anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, unless you my kids or something, then okay, I'll probably feel some kind of obligation towards them. But
you going to feel obligation.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got kids. You
obligate. You got kids, you're obligated to do what you need to do for them.
For sure.
I'm a biggest advocate of that. Do
I
what
agree.
you need to do for your kids.
I definitely agree with that. But I'm just saying, like, people, in general, like, they think you owe them something. Right. And it's like, no, nobody owes you anything. So, it's the entitlement, you know what I mean? And that's when it can get dangerous. When people start feeling a certain kind of way, like, oh, why you didn't hit me up? Oh, I can't get even a little shout out. Why you didn't like my post? Why you didn't share my picture? Why you didn't comment on my shit? Like, stupid stuff.
But then people be entitled. But I think that our generation, you know what I mean? So I would say people between 25 and 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We grew up with both, without social media and with social media.
Yeah, we did.
So you can literally, if you're not talking to people in your age range, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
that. It's kind of crazy, man, because it's such a weird dynamic that we're in, and I think us being the first generation to kind of have to deal with that, it's kind of tough, because we're going to have to teach our children's and so on after that, and they're kind of like navigating it as well. So, like, I don't think people quite understand the internet yet and how it's kind of affecting our society, because people are still, dealing with mental health. They're still dealing with the financial economy that we're in. So not everybody has abundance. And it's kind of like we're out there and it's like, dang, okay, what we going to do?
We're the gap fillers. Yeah. So we bridging, we teaching our parents how to use it.
Yep.
And then we're also giving our children structure with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're like literally like the middle child.
Yeah. Right. And it's not like, and then they got the tablets now for the kids, and the grown-ups don't even, you know what I mean? It's like, it's such a weird dynamic that we're in, but it's hard because I feel like the mental health is fucking with us, man. And I watch my mom deal with mental health issues. I watch my brother deal with mental health issues. I watch my friends deal with mental health issues.
I think everyone deals with it.
Yeah.
At some point, in a certain point aspect, in a certain thing, you will deal with it.
I think
you can hide it or you can show it.
I think,
and a lot of people hide it.
I think this new age
makes it worse.
But I think they just don't know how to deal with it personally. I think now we're in this new age of just, speaking of social media technology, I call it the new age of like information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How we get information now, because all that is quick. It's very quick. A lot of information, and everything is highlighted now. Everything that people do is highlighted.
Yeah.
I can only imagine if back then a lot of things were highlighted like they are now. Mm-hmm. A lot of things will be viewed a different way. So now every little thing that you do is under a spectrum of light, or under like you really have to watch what you say and do, because everything is recorded some type of way. So I think with now, because of all this information, we can identify our trauma, our mental health, our emotional pain, everything. We can identify because we have the information to say like, hey, oh, that's what I got. Oh, that's me. Oh, and not only that, it's, oh, I got the information now how to deal with it.
Right.
Oh, I know therapy is okay now. I know I can go to X, Y, Z now. Before, I feel like traditional wise, I guess, and how we grew up, like it's either you hide it, you tuck it in, you suck it up, it's life, whatever. They didn't know how to deal with it. We have the information to cope and deal with some of these things.
But that case, a certain level of vulnerability, and not everybody's willing to go there. You know?
No, not at all.
They didn't have the generations before us didn't have the information to know you can be vulnerable.
And then they didn't, because they I mean, let's be honest, they're still probably dealing with they don't know.
Energy? Deontay, Radio Raheem. Listen, man, you said that your people have been fighting for 400 years. Man, your peoples too. So I just want you to explain what you mean by that. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't sit up here and try to bait and not know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the fuck I talk about when I say these things. Your people too. Explain it. And not everybody knows what you're talking about. Radio Raheem, I don't have to explain what's understood, man. You know what I mean by that. You know what I say about that. I ain't got to go further. And if anybody don't understand that, then God be with them. Go look up the history. Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I dare you to sit up there and say is explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. He's fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day.
Oh, how? So they couldn't teach their kids on how to do that. That's why they couldn't teach us how to do it. And it's like,
well, I got both of you guys here, and both of you guys
take a shot.
Oh yeah, let's take it out one time. One time for the one time. Hey, hey.
Crazy.
Salud. Salud. Hey, más vida. Woo. Hey, if you guys are listening too, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Grind Show with AJ and Tyler. Also visit our Patreon, patreon.com/TGP1914. And follow us on Instagram. We appreciate you guys. We got Eddy G here. Right. We chopping it up.
Brothers.
We're getting into it, man.
EG, I got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
We're here now.
You spoke about your kids. How's co-parenting, man? How is it having kids now? Like, is it?
I gotta ask a question real quick before you do that? Because I know.
Take it away.
I know because
I'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that, but I really want to because I feel like this is important. Both of you guys have been like to therapy and stuff. I've never been to therapy. Can you guys just give a little insight to the people of maybe why you should go to therapy or like what's it like for you guys going to therapy? Because I've never been. I don't know what it's like. I only see it on TV. Can y'all shed some light on that? Like, y'all don't got to go into y'all personal stuff, but like, what's it like being in therapy?
I haven't been that often and very inconsistent. Even now, like I'm still looking for like more therapy. What I can say is that just that leeway to speak to someone who is unbiased or unpersonal. Like, I guess I still have a nervousness for it and kind of anxiety because I still have the fear of being judged, I guess. But like, just that if you're allowing me, because we still have this talk around society saying that black men don't have a safe space, right? So if you give a black man a safe space, what does that look like? What can happen with that? And what I can say is like I appreciate the safe space that it gives. You can really. What I can say, like, you probably won't like what comes out of it as far as, like, you realize the root of a lot of things.
Right.
You can, like what you thought that was the problem, you start to dig deep on what the real problem is. And it's not even that problem. It's not even that. Yeah, it's not even the problem that you thought it was. That's not it. It's something else.
10 times deeper.
Right. And you're not going to like it because you're going to realize stuff about yourself that either you didn't know, you didn't realize, and it's not. No one likes to, I always say this, no one likes to hear bad things about themselves. No one likes to realize like you're like have this ugly monster about yourself. But if you take it in as, hey, yes, I am this, but I don't, and I don't have to stay in this, and you can grow and be better and take it day by day, you will begin, the more you, that process, I feel like you just begin to heal more. But it starts on the inside. It never starts on externally on the outside. what people see.
I like that. I like that because I like learning about myself.
Right.
Like that's my whole life is a journey of trying to get to know myself.
And I feel like you can say that until you start realizing a lot of things about yourself that you didn't realize. Like,
but then, this is. But I'll also say, once you learn about yourself, then you're not afraid of the world.
Because you know who you are.
Yeah. So, how did I? Oh, so I initiated. So it just goes with the story, right?
Right.
So I initiated therapy because I was at a point where I was trying to figure out like how to make my relationship better with my kid's mother. Right? We already 2 kids in. After each kid that we had, we broken up, got back together, broken up. So at this point, I'm like, we gotta make it work. I'm tired of going back and forth and doing this and that, right?
Right.
So I initiated it through my work and just went like sign up for EAP, employee assistance, whatever.
Is that how you get into it?
Yeah.
Well,
it's just like but you don't have to do it. Like you can go through your medical. You can it's different avenues. You can sign up for BetterHelp. I've used BetterHelp before. Like it's different avenues. And as you once you get in it, then you navigate and find your way, right?
Okay.
So initially, why I initiated it is because I got engaged. We got these 2 kids. We were trying to figure things out. And at a certain point, like, all right, maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
So let me figure it out because I'm the man in the situation.
Yeah.
I'm the head. I'm the leader.
I think people miss that. Yeah,
I'm the head.
I think people miss that part though.
Yeah,
like real talk.
So once you tell yourself that, or once you not even tell yourself, recognize that you are the leader of the group.
Yeah.
No matter what. And when I was younger, I led my family, my cousins and my brother. I'm the leader.
Yeah.
In college, I'm leading my bros. Like I was like you feel me?
Yeah.
In the workspace, I'm in charge of thousands of people at one time.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm the youngest one doing all this stuff. So at this point in my juncture in my life where I'm most frustrated, I can't figure out how to make it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be one to sugarcoat shit. I got an extensive past.
Yeah.
So transition out of the life I was in into the new life that I want.
Yeah.
That's the point at which I figured out like I maybe need to figure it out for myself, therapy. So I initiated therapy in order to see how to progress to the next chapter of my life, basically. So within this therapy time, like I initiated it, started going to a couple sessions. I decided within these couple of sessions, that's when I'm going to get engaged. But I'm telling you the aspect because that's a part of it. It was like, all right, so within finding all this deep stuff about myself and where I'm trying to go, it was necessary for me to go to therapy.
Gotcha.
But as I, like, at this moment in time when I initiated all this stuff, so I initiated, I get engaged, and then I bring my partner in. You feel me? So when we were doing it, so as by myself, I'm fixing a relationship. I fixed a relationship with my mom. So like I told y'all earlier, it's a tale of 2 halves, right?
Yeah.
So my mom, I look, talk, speak, walk, talk, everything like my dad.
So
I didn't grow up with this man.
Yeah.
He's miles, like thousands of miles away, right? I didn't grow up with him. Even when I talk to him today, he was like, dang, you sound just like.
Dang, that's crazy.
And but my crucial years, my 14 to 25, it wasn't like that. You know? So I'm figuring out, the therapist helps me figure out, like, okay, it's rooted between the way why you feel like you can't connect with women, or you like them, you have these feelings for them, but it's never going to progress past this certain point. It's because you have an issue with your mom. Yeah. Right?
That's crazy.
Like, it's that deep.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with my mom in my household. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that story is deep, and I love my mom, and we are in a great place. So
but you have to kind of work towards that.
Yeah.
I can see how that works.
We didn't. So how our bond is as I'm an adult is way different than when I was a kid. You feel me? Because, but it's not even her fault. It's like she was thrust into the situation.
Yeah.
Right.
She had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm thrust in the situation. I got to figure it out. So we bond better because we're both on the other side of figuring it out.
And therapy,
you feel me?
had you work through that.
Exactly. So one of the major things was you need to go back and talk with your mom. Yeah. Let your mom. I invited my mom to a lunch, just lunch. Like I'm grown. I'm already like nearing 30, and she's my mom, so she's been grown. You know what I mean? But we never had this type of conversation. Our conversation was like surface, like on business.
Yeah, what you doing?
You need to get this done. You doing this in school. It was all surface stuff. It was never like emotionally. This is how I feel. I'm telling you this so I can understand how you feel. Yeah. We had that conversation that changed our whole life.
I'm trying to get there.
So therapy, at the end of the day, it provides you an avenue to not only be in your thoughts, because sometimes I felt like I was crazy in my thoughts. Yeah, how as life transitions, it's like, am I crazy?
Oh yeah,
that's how the world can make you feel.
But the world will make you feel like that. And then in being as kind-hearted as like I'm super kind-hearted. Like, you feel me? Yeah. So being as kind-hearted I am, like I was just like, if you tell me, oh, you're doing this because of that, I would just go with you. Like, okay, maybe. Yeah, you know what I mean? But the therapist helped me realize it's not like it is you because you're so open and kind-hearted. But it's not you because you're allowing others to take advantage of your kindness.
And that's where people abuse the grace and stuff. That's why I always tell people, like, if I got something going on, please just give me
a space.
Yeah, exactly.
But learning that space, learning like in arguments, learning to walk away, give me 5 minutes. That makes a world of a difference.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't think enough people in relationships, in friendships, whatever it may be, even in workspaces, don't know how to communicate that to others, like, because they feel like, I don't know, maybe they're not being man enough or woman enough or something, or they don't feel like
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, and
that's the whole thing. You don't know.
It might even be fear to be even vulnerable, because like when you say, I'm like, man, I need some space, like I'm going through something, it's like, you know, like it's kind of like hinting, like throwing yourself out there, like exposing yourself, like I'm going through shit, like. But I feel like people have to be courageous in that moment, like to let people know, like I'm not doing well, bro.
But you have to be. So the whole key, everything from all my experiences, I learned just be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
If you can be honest with yourself, you can live. If you wake up with your thoughts and you go to sleep with those thoughts and you content with life, that's the best thing you can do. Because then you're not living to please anyone. Yeah. Like I'm content, so I'm gonna tell you the truth because. What I gotta tell you is not gonna affect how I'm gonna operate moving forward. Like,
exactly.
You get the information and you do what you want to do with it.
Yeah. But I think people feel like it's gonna change, like some relationship or something, like it's gonna hurt the other person.
We live to please others. Yeah. We live to please our parents. We live to please the society. We live to please our bosses. Like we live to please others. Yeah. But that's the biggest thing. So when you see people that are in control and understand themselves, we outcast them. Yeah. Oh, you're crazy. Yeah. You're this, you're that. You put these stigmas on them. But they just in tune with themselves. Yeah. But when you're in tune with yourself, you become a greater being.
Yeah. And then the people who don't understand that, they're like, why he ain't, giving me this or giving me that? They be like, they feel like there's something wrong with them. Yeah. Right. So that's
you're doing this, but it's not that. It's like I found myself.
Yeah. And I'm doing what I gotta do. And people don't understand boundaries.
Exactly.
And they push and they try to infiltrate. And it's like, and if they don't get that love in return that they're seeking or that attention that they're seeking,
it's based off how we grew up. We all grew up trying to survive.
It's crazy, dude.
So your survival skills are always like going to be prevalent. Like your survival skills, before you be honest and nice and kind, you're going to be on the defense.
Yeah.
You think somebody's trying to do something, take something from you, like so you defensive first.
Yeah, and that's a lot of part of society right there, bro.
And you're trying to survive, like And I feel like social media made it worse.
It made it a lot worse. It was now like everybody's comparing this to that and that, and the comparisons
it's not real. Man. Like you can turn this off. Like you can close the app. It's over. Like.
So anybody out there, man, I always try to help people out, man. Like, just try to find yourself, man.
But it's hard because you don't want to. So you don't want to live and be an outcast.
Outcast, yeah. That's why
you do stuff. You dim your light to fit in.
And that's when I felt like when I was in college, I was an outcast, and that was perfectly fine. But whenever I started getting in, that's when I started to lose my purpose, lose myself. That's when I found myself in trouble.
I did the same.
And then once I able to get back locked in and focused on what I got going, that's when I was able to flourish and grind. And even to this day.
To this day.
Exactly. Like with my ex, I was seeking her attention, her validation, her love. And when she wasn't giving me that, that broke my entire world down. But once I got back in tune with who I was and what I was put on this earth to do, that's when I started caking off again. Now I got the sauce again.
Well, I think you know, it's the roller coaster of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're supposed to have the ups and downs, like the hills, the valleys, the peaks. You know what I mean? So it's not,
crazy,
but with social media, it makes us all. We all show our highlight reel. We all show the perfect things that are happy. You feel me? We don't show the bad, the down times. We don't show like this. My complete story in the last 2 years and a half. You know, you helped me significantly.
My brother, man.
You know, you like my twin, like my guy forever. For life. I got your back, you got my back.
Always.
But, man, I was in a big house by myself.
Yeah.
I got a whole family. I got a fiance. I got kids, all that. Man. Like, you know how deep it gets, but
that's how I be
I'm
feeling.
in this situation because I'm trying to live up to what we created on social media.
We was trying to be something,
right? And then once we were there, it's like you trying to hold that standard, like keep it at the standard. But people like you think you look at people's life on the internet and don't really know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, facts.
Like every individual, and there's billions of people.
Yeah,
you don't know every individual story. You only see the highlight reel,
right?
You don't see where they have to go through to get to where they're going,
to that point.
or get to the point. Exactly.
That's why I be feeling so bad, man. I feel like you influenced me a lot over the years, man, and I feel like I have a part of influence on you as well. And I felt like there was parts. I don't know if I get caught up in my zone because I do this for my younger brother too. Like I feel like at certain moments where my brothers were telling me something, I feel like I should have listened more and gave better advice because I feel like we have to lean on something. We didn't have our dads like that, and we didn't have these mentors or anything. So we was learning as we go. So when we learned, we was learning from each other in the midst of all this chaos, kind of. And I felt like there were certain moments where I dropped the ball and wasn't the best friend I could be. You know what I mean? And I blame myself sometimes, but I know okay, everybody got their own stuff, but it's like, damn, we've been holding each other down. And I feel like I dropped the ball on so many different occasions. And it's like,
drop that. I never felt like that at all. I felt like we're all at the same age, at the same understanding.
Yeah.
So we gotta walk through certain doors to understand and bring it back.
Yeah.
We gotta go through those experiences to be able to bring it back to the group. So then it makes the group better.
Yeah.
So my path I don't regret anything that happened. It was every moment, every chapter was meant to be service purpose and do what it did to make me the man I am today.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean, I don't regret anything. I just be like, dang, man, I feel like I could have been better at the time.
Hindsight is 20/20.
You know what I mean?
We all would have been better if we knew something.
And I feel like, dang, it's a lot, and it's a lot for the pod. But I just wanted to.
We're 2 hours. We in there.
I just wanted to shed some light on some of that because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. And if they can get past that, I feel like they can go on their journey and walk their walk and walk in their purpose and not worry about somebody talking about them or somebody commenting about them or something it don't really matter. It don't fucking matter. So just do you and do what you gotta do. You're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna learn your lessons and hopefully that's gonna make you better because I wouldn't be the man I am today without those lessons, without trial and error, and then getting better.
What is you win some,
you lose
some, but you live. You live by another day. Oh God, that's how it goes, bro.
We've been saying that since we was 18.
That's how it is.
You know what I'm saying? That's real. And hopefully people figure that out because I really want people to get better in life. And I feel like that's been a part of my journey because I've always been someone who can be vulnerable. And I don't mind someone talking about me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do my thing.
At my grown age, you're going to take me like a year.
Exactly. So I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm going to try to lead my family and my friends the best way I can because we all have a part to play in this. And the more we can take accountability for our own actions, the better we can serve. So,
yeah.
Well, go ahead, Tyre. My bad, man.
It's all good, man.
We here.
We getting there.
Like I said before, though, question: co-parenting. How is that for you, man?
So right now in this moment, it's great. You feel me? I think that once I learned to take it from being just personal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about what I'm trying to get accomplished. This is about the greater good. I think the greater good is that we got one common goal is to raise our kids and make sure they have structure and a foundation. Right. Now it has, like everything, it has peaks and valleys. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But in this moment in time, I feel like we've hit our stride. You know, like we have a clear understanding that nobody can impede. Like, you know what I mean? It's not saying that we're gonna be best friends, but like, at this point, we're family. Like, there's no divorce in that. Like, we're family. Like, so, and we're family, but we have a common goal, and whatever decision I make is gonna impact my kids. Whatever decision she makes is gonna impact the kid. Yeah. So we have to be on the same court. Yeah, and like, you know what I mean. So this is good.
There's not a lot of, and I commend that for sure, because there's not a lot of, at least personally from my own experiences, there's not a lot of success stories in co-parenting. I understand relationships don't work out like how they are under one roof. I don't even come from a product of that, so I'm used to that. So
we all have single moms, right?
My mom and dad tried it.
It worked. So
it's not common.
Right, it's not common. So for
maybe
you to figure that out without that that is amazing to me, because like I see them and I watch them and they're growing so big now, and I know they love their mom and their dad. They don't care the circumstance of their mom and dad,
but they don't. They the way we operate, they don't know. Is like, I mean, they understand like we have two different homes,
right?
Like, you know, dating and different stuff like that. Right. They get that part of it, you know what I mean? Right. But they don't understand like what it took for us to get to that point, you know what I mean? Right. It's a whole journey and story. They only know love from both sides. You know what I mean?
That's what you're getting.
That's my dad. That's my mom. Right. They love us, and they're gonna do whatever we need for them.
Right. You know? And I think that's
the most important
thing that they need. That every kid needs to know through that. And I hate circumstances that I know. I hate that parents can't put that like their whatever they have
the personal differences
aside to realize that important core fact. Because whatever y'all do, they're going to be affected by it. Not y'all. Like, in a sense, they're in the long run going to be affected by it.
Right. So, and essentially, you know, I learned that from I learned a lot of my co-parenting and peace from Mike Sessions.
Shout out to Mike, man.
That's my younger brother.
Shout out Mike Sessions. Mike Sessions, Mike Fresh.
That's another one. That's definitely another one. That's something I'm proud of that he figures that out. But it takes a lot of communication.
The peace, the patience, the understanding, the sacrifices.
Right.
Sacrifices is the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to, like, be able to take yourself out of it. As a leader, as a man, as a head, you can't take it personally. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We act off of trial and error, like you said earlier. Yeah. Women react off of emotional decisions. Mm-hmm. So if you get emotional, and I'm not even victim to it, I've been emotional. Like, people seeing me be emotional. Mm-hmm. I'm in tune with my emotions, so I will be emotional. Mm-hmm. But if I react off emotion, it's only got worse and worse and worse. Mm-hmm. And I'll be logical. I take myself out of it. What is the greater decision for everyone else?
Everybody involved. Gotcha. And that's part of leadership right there.
Exactly. I think the true testament of a man is if you can put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and make it comfortable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I go into uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, that's part of growth.
But I flourish. Like, now that they're expecting me, why aren't you here? Because I came in and I made it my situation. I made it comfortable for me. It's comfortable for me, so now I make everybody comfortable.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So how do you, like, answer those questions, like, when, you know, because I know that I don't have kids yet, you know, I have my godson, but, like, I don't have my own kids, and I know, like, my heart being that big, you know, that hurt me, man. That's hard for me to fathom. Like, I'm like, like, my baby want me, you know, and she can't see me, or my son want me and he can't see me. Like, that would hurt me.
Right.
You know, how do you deal with that? You know what I mean? Because, like, I know it ain't easy.
You mean consistently? Like, every day you come home and
in the beginning, you know, I've been there
since each one of my kids was born, all three of them. You know?
Yeah.
I was there for two.
Two out of the three.
Yeah.
Right, but so I've been there. So transitioning, like the breakup, everything runs its course or whatever. Transitioning to having my own space.
Yeah.
There was times I was lonely, I was depressed, I was going but
Yeah.
just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it will get better. You got to be optimistic by each day. Like you attract the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Your thoughts attract what happens to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always kept that positivity. Like, it will get better. Like, it'll get figured out. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I definitely understand that. How do you keep your significant, your counterpart on that same page? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you are leading this shit.
You leading the group.
So how are you able to keep her in the same mindset? Because like you said, women are emotional.
Right.
Sometimes they're not thinking logically.
Right.
So how do you able to get her out of that state and
you mean in aspect of their mother?
Yeah, and keep her on the same page. Like, this is how we're gonna work this out.
So it's twofold, right? So like I said, whatever happens, the reaction I give will impact the whole situation, right?
Yeah.
So my dad, and this is where he comes in as the second half, being a man. He told me, like, if it really wasn't that, if y'all really wasn't in love, you don't love her, you don't think this was that, you think y'all served your purpose of making these kids and that was it, and anything that she does moving forward should not impact you.
Yeah.
If you can't control your emotions, that person got control of you. Like, you have to be able to control yourself. And if you really don't care about it, then it cannot impact and change your daily activities. You feel me?
Your mood and all that.
So from a man's perspective, if I truly don't care about this, I was honest with her. I think that's how we got to a point. So I was honest with her. She's able to I communicated it clearly. She understood it for what it to be. Yeah. And at a certain point, you got to let them go through their path as well. Right?
And I feel like I'm in that space.
Yeah, so let them, everyone has to travel their own path. Like, you got to gain your understanding of what it's like.
Yeah, do you feel like women know they're like have a tune with their purpose? Like, as much as men we try to find our purpose, do you feel like women have that too? Like, where they can kind of find their purpose and stuff?
I feel like, yes.
Are they conscious of it?
Yes. Yes.
I feel like they figured out more.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. I think they're more conscious of their purpose than we all are. Not even their purpose. They're more conscious of their intentions than we are of ours. Like, we're a lot of trial and error. Yeah. They go on a purpose. And this goes back from when we were taught about everything. Girls is taught that they're sacred. They're supposed to be the wife, the prize. Like, you know what I mean? Boys is taught you're supposed to spread your wings and figure it out. Yeah. Okay. That's the whole trial and error. Like, we taught trial and error. They taught structure from the beginning. This is sacred. You don't give this to nobody else. Yeah. You only give it to the person you love. You know what I mean? Yeah. We taught, like, you got to go chase. You got to go impress this person. You got to go buy this stuff. You got to have these things in order to get to where you're trying to go.
Where the fuck did that shit come from, man?
Society. The whole way.
Society, man.
The whole way.
Damn, that's crazy.
And it comes from these gender roles and traditional ways and all that.
Exactly.
But you have to learn, like,
that's crazy.
You gotta break the mold.
Yeah, I feel like in these generational curses that we try to break, you have to also learn that there's no cookie cutter way of life, and each relationship has to be treated that works for you and that other person. Like, if and that's anything, and that's why I believe in partnership so much. Not so much as when you say different words. This is about communication. When you say different words, it hits different than other things. So if I say like, you know, if I say this is my wife or this is my I'm just do that. This is my wife. It's gonna hit differently, like what a wife role is supposed to be. Right. If I say this is my partner, that might hit differently than what her role is going to be. Right.
Yeah. So even, like, for example, people don't say I'm signed to a label. Like, we're in a partnership.
Right.
Like, so your partnership is mean that we have equal value and we have to uphold each one of our ends. A label means somebody owns somebody. Right. Yeah. I own your feelings. I own your actions. I own this and that. Yeah. Right. I don't want to be ownership of nobody. I don't want to be in control of your feelings. Yeah. You be able to feel how you feel. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to communicate how I feel. You have the information. You do what you want with it.
Right. Dang, that's crazy.
That's it.
Dang.
Right.
But once people learn that, like, we're constructed in our society to be somebody's a leader, somebody's a follower, somebody's an owner, somebody's this, man. Every aspect.
From the beginning.
Grade school. You the student, this is the teacher.
Even back then.
Like, we're not working together.
We can go way back. I'm talking about history,
That's the society. That's what the society we live in.
Unlearning that is tough, and I don't know if people are able to.
But you don't unlearn it. You learn how to navigate.
Navigate.
Yeah, you don't unlearn it. You're gonna always. It's always gonna be prevalent. Like
because it's kind of like in the back of your mind, kind of
every aspect of society is somebody's leader. You gotta learn how to navigate those situations.
Well, hopefully, if you're a father out there, hopefully you're following somebody who are graceful and have your best interests in heart. Because not every leader is a good leader. You know what I mean? They some people can lead you down the wrong path. So you got to be able to discern, like, should I really be taking advice from this person? Maybe I should check their history, or, you know what I mean? Or, see what they're really about. See their testament of their character.
Right.
And, if you're a leader and you feel like you have to take responsibility for your fam and other people out there, you have to be able to understand the ways of leadership. You have to keep building and have grace and be able to make decisions, good decisions, because you know that every decision you make is going to affect everybody around you. So, man, I'll give one.
Yes, D, we could be here for hours.
Yeah, for real.
But to wrap this up, though, I got 2 questions for you, EG. Where you are now in life, if you could give your younger self, you can go back and talk to your younger self, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
Control your emotions. I feel like everything bad, negative that happened to me is because of my emotions. You know what I mean? Control your emotions will get you far. You gotta know how to navigate. You know how to know how to be in the streets and be in the boardroom.
Gotcha.
Especially being young black men. You got to deal with police officers and thugs. And we all in the same area. We go to the club. You got to navigate the streets and the boardroom.
In this club, nigga.
Control your emotions.
We was in there.
Other than that, like I feel like I said, everything it serves its purpose. And also, I guess the second thing I would say is know when something is over. Like, be able to recognize it. Don't drag it on. Be honest. Yeah. Be honest too. 100%. Honesty is key. Like, because the thing is that we live in fear. So when we think people won't accept, and once you be honest, they literally accept it. Yeah. If they choose to be in your life, in your realm, in your area, they're gonna accept it as well.
Yeah, and at least you can be yourself around them and live your truth.
Exactly.
You ain't gotta worry about none of that bullshit.
But before I ask that last question, I want to get into this black business segment.
Are we really into it? We really into
it? Damn. We go all day.
Time fly, man.
Well, I got some more stuff on as my brother.
Yeah, I'm saying we're
gonna do a part 2.
We didn't even talk about the Caltrans and everything and all that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
okay. Well, everybody go vote November 18th. All right.
Hey, vote up.
No, not 18th. November 8th. All right, just go vote.
Yeah, this is our black business segment. You know what I'm saying? This is where we like to shout out any businesses that we may just want to put on or shout out. Like, I don't know if you have any, but we just.
I got a couple. You know what I mean?
Well, go ahead, roll that.
Hey.
All right. So first of all, Couch 2 Bomb. Shout out to my bro 2K.
Hey, 2K.
It's a lifestyle.
K9, right?
Gotcha.
Couch 2 Bomb. POUCH. The number 2 BOMB on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check us out. Grown, we call it adult Capri Suns for the most part.
Adult Capri Suns.
Yeah. So
that's a good one.
Check us out. Look us up on Instagram. And in addition to that, let me shout out my boy, my big bro, another 3 Trey Club of mine, Ebby. With the
Rock. Yeah. Claim jumpers called cheese, nigga.
Yeah. One of the biggest. I got a couple pairs. I like the quality of his shades. I like
they good quality.
The different aspects of shades, the different avenues he going with it. And lastly, but not least, P.
Oh yeah, Marlon P.
Yeah. Too lazy.
Yes, sir.
With the abstract ideas like he always does.
Man, I wish I would wear my Get Lace shirt.
Get lace shirts, get lace sweaters, get lace shoestrings.
Everything custom,
up on Instagram.
glow in the dark.
Hoodie season. He got the hoodies out right now. Hoodie season. I seen it.
So
hey, shout out Marlon. Shout out Ebby, man.
Shout out to my men about business.
Shout out to 2K too.
Yeah.
What about you, AJ? What you?
I'm gonna actually piggybacking off Ed real quick. 2K, he also a barber at Major League Barbers 909 in the IE off of Del Rosa. And you guys
you're wrong. It's Sterling.
Sterling. Sterling. Yeah, you gotta exit Del Rosa. Right? Sterling. That's all right. But yeah, so go ahead and get you a fresh cut. I don't know if y'all can see on here. Maybe I saw y'all on my Patreon. I got the fresh cut. My hairstylist Chantel. Shout out to her.
Chantel.
Yeah. So you know, we going up, man. It's all about community and supporting our own. And you know, go get you a fresh cut. Major League Barbers.
Go get that bag.
Yep.
So that.
Shout out to Larissa, man.
I ain't got one, but I'm gonna just say support your businesses out there. Support local businesses. Support your friends. It's free. That's funny part. Man. It's free for a shout out, a tag.
But it ain't even about the shout out or tag. It's just about showing love.
Yeah, showing love and supporting, spending your dollars with them.
Fact.
Spend your money with them.
Fact.
Don't just I'm one to share a lot of people's posts because sometimes I just ain't got. That's all I can do. Right. But if I have the money, share them, spend the money with them as well. Don't go to Walmart or Target, especially with Christmas coming up. Like spend your money with someone of your community.
You have all the resources, like everything. In moving forward, we're getting even. Mm-hmm. The more and more we felt like we started behind the 8-ball, we're getting in front of the 8-ball. You know what I mean? So help out your people, help out your community. You know, look out for each other. Each one, teach one.
Yep.
Support.
Teach one.
Yep. Amen.
One question before we end this, got for you, man. And it could be the same as the same answer as the last question I asked, but just if you had to give any phrase, any words of wisdom, anything that you would want to give out, what would it be?
All right, so in the great words of my boy, man, Kim Malik, shout out to Kim Malik. Hey, listen to his music. Go check him out on Instagram. You know what I mean? You can find him on all platforms. But it's just simple. Keep going. Just keep going. Don't quit. It's going to get hard. It's going to get rough. It's going to have its trials and it's going to have its peaks and valleys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the whole point is you got to keep going.
Yep. Amen to that.
It's always a storm before the sunshine, right?
Yep, for real.
That's how I feel. So, even at my worst of times, even like the worst of time, just kept going.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm in a happy state and we live the life. Exactly.
I just want to say thank you to my guy, Ed Rock, man. He was a rock of our. People used to say I was the rock. Nah, Ed was the rock. I seen this when on the last night. I seen him do amazing things, and I was like, "Nah, this guy need to be around." Yeah. So, man, you know, thank you, bro. Thank you,
man, for being here.
I appreciate y'all too, man.
Thank you.
We all here helping each other.
I've never seen before, man. This has been an honor, man, to have you on tonight.
Lifelong friends, man. This for life.
Right.
For life, man. Come on now.
That third episode, number 3, you know what I mean?
Let's go.
Yo, AJ, what's
Triple
the plugs,
H
man?
third.
AJ, what's the plugs, man?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead again and go ahead and tap into our YouTube channel. We'll be premiering this episode soon. The Grind Show with AJ and Tyler. And also hit us up on the Instagram, the Grind Podcast 1, and Twitter at TGP1914, and Patreon. We got some good stuff coming for you guys. Bloopers. We got behind the scenes stuff from the last episodes. It's gonna be good, man. So Patreon.com.
Follow our personal Instagram. My Instagram is Tanksley Designs.
Yeah, I'm St. Jones 33 on Instagram and Twitter. And then EG, what's up, man?
E_raw.
E-Raw, baby.
E_raw. Been that way for a long time.
Let's get it.
I remember when Charles told us about Twitter. I mean,
yeah, you remember that?
I
don't think you even remember when you told us that.
Download this. This is happening.
Yeah, see?
Ever since.
That's crazy.
He always been like that, man.
I'm going to bring it up when we got him on the pod. He ain't going to trip out.
You remember it.
Yeah, I know you remember.
This has been the Grind Podcast, though. Thank y'all for tuning in. Coming back again for another episode. The grind continues. Stay grinding, like we said. We out.
Let's go. Let's get it, y'all. Peace and love.
Peace and love.